foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Chavez. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's second down.
And I think this is a round we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Chavez. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be second down. And now an audible here into something else.
Watch out now, 50 Fury.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll drop this down to Johnson underneath. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
50 Green. 22 Needle. Claws Ray. Ready.
Back to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Looking to put a drive together. First carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You look at this Steeler defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Brooks. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion.
Go. 19, Tiger, 19.
On the handoff, Whrock21. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The Broncos at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
2nd and 6. Throw left side complete. That's Franklin. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. The give is to McLaughlin. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
At the Steelers' 33-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Brooks. And he'll go down at the 28. Safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already, I think he's got a good chance of putting this one up here on 3rd down.
Well, I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave you underneath stuff, you got to go and make the tackle right away.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. We can look at this Bronco defense, and they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
That's to his tight end, Tyler Warren. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. That's returnable now for Smith. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days. And it's picked up by the Steelers. where they'll take over. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
He's into space past the 25. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down.
A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the celebration in the end zone, but meanwhile we do have an injured player. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Watch out now. Black ultra. Yellow. 43. Ready?
Back to throw now on 1st down. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 22 yards on the catch and run. A 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Touchdown.
Tyler Warren, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead out to 11. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Over the middle, and he's got Gray. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Dragon 60. Take over.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Brooks. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Viking 18, 18, Pioneer. Go.
Looking to throw. Brooks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak.
Taking it right down Broadway. How about this? Racing to the end zone. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Tyler Warren, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now.
21, Broncos 3.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
31-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they followed him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Let's go now. 60 Eagles, 6 Panther 11, Panther 11.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down.
60. 60 back.
Back to throw. Brooks. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
44 yards rushing for now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
Ready?
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
Ready. 50. Green jack. You. Yellow. Red. Yellow. Stand. Hunt. Smash. Red. Ready.
Looking to throw. Chavez. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. A short one there, caught by Warren. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
Okay, ready?
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down.
Here we go. Set. 45. 10 seconds.
Now they'll shift things around.
Go red. Hut.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets to the Broncos' 7-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Watch out now.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal.
17.
That's caught right side. It's Warren.
3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal.
A gain of 3 brings up second and goal at the Broncos' 4-yard line.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's third and goal.
Now third and goal.
Hut.
Johnson. They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And his kick is right there. It's good. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
7-yard line.
Here we go, set. 18 Cardinals.
Back to throw. Brooks. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Cowboy 80. 18, Pioneer. 18, Rattler. Ready.
Looking to throw. Brooks. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That gain on third down, good for 28.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket waiting for someone to come open. And when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. On the ground, here's McLaughlin. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Franklin. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
2nd and 1. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's got it. And the Broncos are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Back to throw. Brooks. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see a franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
70 Lions. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates.
Looking to throw. Brooks. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard
line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Trouble, 38. Let's go. 45. White.
Back to throw. Chavez. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Ready?
He finds Tanner, complete.
And he will have a Steelers first down, and he was able to get it by play. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Claws red. Ready?
They'll look to throw now on first down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, ready? Cross. 50, green. 43 rail.
Looking to throw. Chavez.
Open man, the tight end Warren.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Chop. 17. Set, cut. Slide. 97. Black 40. Blaster. 6. Slide 2.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Ready. 33. Yellow. Ready.
Back to throw. Chavez. That is caught.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Screenplay, Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Blue striker. Black shot.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 16. That one goes for 24 yards.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
First down, Steelers.
Red, yellow. Cut.
Looking to throw. Chavez. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Tyler Warren, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Oh, what a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Buffalo 18, 70 Timberwolves. Dragon 60, 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
Now Brooks to throw. Throwing to start the drive. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. This 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Brooks. On the RPO, he'll keep... Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. Minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's 3rd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Here's Brooks from the gun on 3rd down. That's taken in by Franklin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Here we go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And then he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
18
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gray. On the gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dab. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Here we go. Hey, blue, yellow, 22. Ready?
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Ready.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line.
52 blue. Set.
Operating from the gun, Chavez. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They got 29 yards that time.
First down. First and goal at the 9-yard line.
On the set. Come on, set. Black 40.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brings up second and goal.
Down.
At the 11-yard line.
50, green. Hut.
To Johnson again. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Ready up.
The offense on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third and goal.
White, black shot. Hut, hut.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
He's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. And his kick is indeed good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably...
There he goes, left side. Inside the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Jaleel McLaughlin, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2.
Broncos will line up for the 2-point conversion.
19 Tiger.
They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Hut, hut. Check.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, They want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That's you, yellow. Yes, steel, black. Ready.
2nd and 9 now. Now he's going to step up and run. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Nick Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. They need 18 yards here on 3rd down.
Ready, rep, 6. Mega, 60 red. 60 red. Blue, black, ultra. Ready?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Taylor there to bring it in on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame him?
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. That'll give them 8 that time. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Looking to throw. Brooks. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2.
He'll try to pick it up himself. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the questions are going to continue to mount for this club, no doubt. This will almost certainly be another losing effort. And the questions will become, where do they go from here? 108 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the 1st down and keep the sticks moving.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
45. Hut, hut.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain.